we've got the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Washington Wizards. Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome to this NBA broadcast right here on 2K Sports. A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. We've got Dominique Wilkins and Robinson. And for the Wizards, and Howard. Like a lot of bottom feeders in the East last year, the Wizards struggled mightily against the Western Conference.
And no surprise there, Kevin. I mean, just 8 wins for them. Not a good showing by any means, but they actually took a step, backwards from 2009 when they tallied up 9 wins against the West.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to talk with Flip Saunders for a minute. I asked him about his game plan. He told me he trusts his team on the offensive side. He said playing with patience and looking for the open man are what we do best. And if they can keep their cool, move the basketball around, they should be just fine, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. So shooting is certainly on the menu early in this one.
Well, when you get right down to it, that's the name of the game. You've got to put the ball in the basket.
And back to the Washington Wizards against the West. What made them struggle so much, Clark?
Well, you start with the West with the fact that the West has a lot of good teams, and the Wizards just didn't really match up that well. And lacking an established point guard certainly didn't help either. You go against Nash and Darren Williams and Chris Paul. That's trouble if you don't have a solid point guard.
Well said. Shot clock at 2. Kept alive. Here's Elliott. Off from three-point land. And it's Washington's ball. Here's Weber. Drains it from the corner.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Here's Johnson. 1:07 left in the first quarter. The Spurs didn't have a great year on the road by their standards last season, Clark.
Kevin, you know, they were still over 500, and that makes you a good road team. I mean, what do we say? 6, 7, 8 teams usually in the league are above 500. Just a very disciplined group that lends itself to being successful on the road. Tough.
Oh!
Fantastic pass for the alley-oop. You got to love that action.
Looks like they've worked on that one before, Clark.
Yeah, they've done it countless times.
So it's Washington now. Strickland, he's guarded by Johnson. Here's Chaney. The shot, no good. Though the Spurs will take it the other way. Pass to Johnson. Number 15. No luck on a three-point attempt. San Antonio on D. Wilkins gets the reach-in call. That's his first foul. Here's Jackson. Weber backs in. Connects from 13 feet out.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot.
Now here's Johnson. No good. And that's the end of one close game so far. Wizards lead by 1.
Well, they're off to a hot start offensively, Kevin. They've been scoring nonstop.
And we'll be back in just a moment. Both teams neck and neck as we begin the second quarter. Here's Whitney. On the court for San Antonio here in the second. And Johnson. Whitney misses. Here's San Antonio now. They trailed by 1. The Spurs struggled a little bit out of the games last season.
And that can be expected, Kevin. I mean, a veteran team, they understand how they have to pace themselves into the season. So they won't go full speed out of the gate typically.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Johnson. Kept alive. Robinson passes to Johnson. Wilkins. Second chance shot. Scooped up. Here's Robinson. Offline, and they're ice cold. The Wizards with the lead. Number 23. Tries to keep it alive. The loose ball recovered by San Antonio. And the turnover by San Antonio.
That was an ugly possession. They were out of sync completely, and the ball just sailed out of bounds.
And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has some info for us. Doris, take it away.
Well, Kevin, as you know, the Spurs got off to a slow start last season, and that's something we had seen from them before. But according to Coach Greg Popovich, this time it was a little bit different. He pointed to the adjustment of teaching new players a system, saying, "We lost a bit more corporate knowledge than I had thought. It's taken more time than I expected to get everybody back on the same page." And guys, as the Spurs continue to refresh the deck, that's going to continue to be a challenge for them.
Doris, thank you for that.
You know, it's never easy when you have a bunch of older vets mixed in with a bunch of first and second year guys. That dynamic is a real challenge for a team.
Here's Johnson. They can make this a 2-for-1 opportunity. Johnson, right side. Now here's Wilkins. He's covered by Murray. Wilkins, that's good. Wilkins got his first 2 points of the night. Washington trailing.
Tip. The lob was a little misjudged, and he couldn't get control of it. Your team doesn't need that mistake. You got to be efficient.
Johnson against Whitney. He's guarded by Johnson. Number 23. A missed three. And so we wrap up the first half. Spurs out in front, leading by a point.
It's a brand new year. Our resolution to break down the first half here at the HP Halftime Report. San Antonio on top against the Wizards at Verizon Center. They played gritty D and have been hauling in the defensive rebounds. The human highlight reel certainly playing well so far. Lighten up that scoreboard. He's making it ring like a pinball machine. On the other side, the Wizards looking pretty solid as well. They've looked to their bench for scoring, and it's paying big dividends. And that's going to do it. We'll send you back to the game in Washington. Third quarter coming up next.
And the quarter begins. Both teams close like prize fighters. A close ball game. And Washington has possession. It's a one-point game. And Howard. That's the group. Start the second half for Flip Saunders. Weber defended by Wilkins. No good from Howard.
Couldn't can at that time, but you keep taking it to the rack like that, and good things will happen for you.
Deflects the pass. It's blocked. San Antonio. The break is up. Number 15. It's the far iron, but it goes in. He has 5.
Sometimes folks forget about his decent mid-range jumper. He can knock those down all game given a chance.
Shot clock at 5. Let's go with the 3. Kept alive. 3 on the clock. Number 77. And there's the bucket, good for 2.
You can't forget about him when you're boxing out. That's what he does. He crashes the glass.
John's outside. Here's Elliott. And it's San Antonio with another.
The defense didn't challenge the shot, didn't get a hand in his face. And from such close range, that shot's a gimme.
Wizards trail by 3. Strickland is guarded by Johnson. Pass to Howard. And making a change here, the Wizards. Here's Murray to tie, and that one's good. He has 5.
Boy, the defense broke down right there. You can't lose track of the three-point shooter.
16 seconds left in the third. With 1 on the clock. No good on that last second attempt there. And so after 3 quarters of play and some great offensive output, this one is tied. Back in just a minute here in Washington. So as we get rolling here in the fourth, let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for our Strike Spark. Doris, take it away.
And Kevin, for the Wizards, the game's bright spark has been what they've got from their small forward off the bench. He's done exactly what you want from one of your bench guys, coming into the game with a ton of energy and extra effort. The lift you need when guys come in off the bench, guys.
Thank you, Doris. He's certainly changed, Clark, the complexion of this one.
I thought he served as the catalyst. I mean, he willed his team in a positive direction, and they rode that momentum.
Here's Johnson. On the floor for San Antonio. And Robinson. Elliott. He's covered by Murray. Slams it through.
Again, they retake the lead. Incredible momentum swings. Neither team wants to give an inch.
Here's Jackson. Wilkins picks him up. Now here's Howard. Tight defense on him. Here's Murray. And that misses. That would put him up.
Hey, he can hit from that range. I think he missed that one, but the defense is going to want to tighten up on him out there.
Johnson up top. He's covered by Whitney from 20 feet out. Johnson's shot is off.
Really not enough defensive pressure there to force that miss. He's got to be disappointed.
Jackson misses. And it's the Spurs with the ball. The lead is 2. Johnson, the pass to Robinson. And oh, that was close. He draws a foul. He'll shoot 2.
Tough interior defense means not allowing easy battle. Good foul.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Perfect from the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Kevin, that trip to the line was huge, and he builds their lead to 2 possessions.
Pulls up, high post. The Wizards with another miss. And it's the Spurs with the ball. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Less than 1 minute left. Howard with it, cuts off the pass. Here's Whitney. He's guarded by Johnson. Pass to Jackson. Here is Howard. Over Wilkins. Howard, that's good. Howard's got his first points in this one.
Oh, that's much in the clutch. They needed that one, Kev.
And there's the intentional foul. No good on the first. And make a change here, the Wizards. sinks the second, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Washington calls timeout. They trail by 3. 23 seconds left to the fourth. Clark, what are your thoughts?
You need a 3 here to tie, but there's still some time left on the clock. If you can get a quick layup or 2, I'd take that and then foul.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sidelines.
Hey, Kev, well, during that last break, I heard Flip Saunders addressing his team. He got right in the faces of his players and laid it out, saying, this game is going to come down to heart. It's simple. Show me how much heart you have. We'll see how his team responds to that test, Kevin.
Here's Johnson, and the intentional foul called as they try to prolong it here.
They needed to take the foul to stop the clock. That clock is not their friend at this stage of the game.
Off target on the first. Connects on number 2, and that'll put him up by 2. Washington calls timeout. They're losing by 2. 19 seconds left in the game. Mark, what do you think?
Talk about a really big possession. This is it. They've got to score here. They need a basket. Don't worry about the clock at this point. Make sure you get a high-quality shot and knock it down.
So it's Washington trailing by 2. Strickland is guarded by Johnson. Here's Chaney. Kept alive. Here's Weber. And it's a tie ball game.
Snares the offensive rebound, then sends it home.
Wilkins with the ball. Here's Johnson. Oh, it's off the mark. And we're going to overtime. Regulation is ended, and we're heading to overtime. The fourth quarter was not enough overtime to start the jump ball. The Spurs in the tip-off to begin overtime. Back to Wilkins. And it's out of bounds. The Wizards will take it the other way.
Huge turnover there, and at a bad time, too. You have to value every possession.
A big possession here.
Can he come back to take the lead?
Strickland is guarded by Johnson. To take the lead, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
But I think it was worth a shot. They're trying to force some turnovers with time running out. They need to catch some breaks in that situation.
He sinks the clutch free throw. Gets them both, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Kevin, that's what you expect from him. When the pressure's at its highest, with the game on the line, that's when he's at his best.
Number 15, and sent it from 3.
The defense made the mistake of playing off him, and he drained it from deep.
And Washington has possession. It's a 1-point game. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Strickland is guarded by Johnson. Just 4 to shoot. The Wizards need to get a shot off here.
He's just so clutch. Here's a guy you want on your side with the game on the line, Kevin.
That will count. Oh, heartbreak. All or nothing there, and he couldn't knock it down. And so it's Washington who scraped by with the win. An impressive victory in overtime after an exciting end in regulation.
You know what? In a long game, fatigue can sometimes affect every aspect of play. They didn't look tired at all to me.
Well, that'll do it for us. For Clark Kellogg and Doris Burke, Kevin Harlan saying so long. And as we end the game, we bring you our Jordan Brand Player of the Game.